Right, having had a very good day earlier last week with the Itiwit X100 canoe, we decided to upgrade our 1/2 man Itiwits, which are the just the 100 touring kayak, to this little beauty that's in the box. So her indoors is opening the box, delivered from, well, it was actually bought from Debenhams, would you believe, online. It was 60 quid cheaper than the Decathlon price, and when it arrived it was delivered by Decathlon. Go figure. So in that box with the Itiwit X100 1 to 2 person kayak, which we're going to use for the for when we go with one person. And so this is a drop stitch kayak, same as the other one we reviewed, which was the X100 2 to 3 person, but this is the 1 to 2 person. Very similar, but it is different actually a little bit. So what you get is the bag, and in the top of the bag on these ones there's a little Velcro pocket which has instructions, a little valve if you ever have to replace the valve. I think there's a repair kit in there as well and some instructions. The instructions are also printed on the bag, and there's the kayak and the 3 skegs. With this kit I paid £329, as I say, through Debenhams. It's usually $3.99. You do not get a paddle, you do not get a pump, and very little else. You get the kayak, the bag and the seats. Right, so here's her indoors. You do get a strap on this one to secure it, which is small but handy. Should be 2 seats there. Looks like there is. And there's the kayak itself. And the floor, we put the floor in, and once the floor's in we leave it in. What a lovely day today. It's the middle of September 2023, and what a lovely day. It's the sort of day to be reviewing a kayak. If you unroll that, Catherine. So that's the high pressure air floor. And then if you unroll the, open up the kayak, just be very tidy and not throwing stuff about the garden. Right, so there it is. We'll now put the floor in and show you once that's got on in. Right, we're going to put a little bit of air in the tubes for the side sponsons. Remember to press that button down, Catherine. That's in, out. It's got to be out. If you press that out, pump it up with it in, you will soon regret that. You lose all your air.
That's in. No.
Right, that's it, correct. That's out. So if you just put the Helky Roberts valve in, Catherine, on the pump there. You use the Itiwit pump. You can do it with a foot pump or a hand pump, but it gets tedious. Then turn it back a little bit. Right, so now put the pump on. We're only going to put a little bit in here just to get the sponsor out. To get a bit of air in it, makes the floor easier to put in. Once the floor's in, you never take it out, only to clean it. So that's what we do with the 3-man. We do the same with this one. Right, I won't show you pumping up the tube. But it didn't take too long to pump these up with that pump, and it's quite effortless. Right, so we're just putting a bit of air in the second sponson now. Just a little bit, just so we can get the floor in easier, just so it's out of your way. So we've got the floor in. Basically you pull the floor in until you move that piece, Catherine, till it's level with those drain bungs there, one each side, and it's pulled up at the front and the rear. Now when you blow these up, I think opinion is you pump the floor up first, but we've done it both ways and it doesn't really make any difference. So on this occasion we're going to pump up the tubes a bit and then the floor. So the tube should go at 3 psi, so So the tubes go to 3 psi, the floor goes to 5 psi. I do it a little bit less because I just do. So pumping it up again now. I've set the pump from 2.4 psi, 2.7 psi. So we pump that up to nearly done. This pump should switch off. Something to know, this is quite surprising, and I thought I'd got a dud and it was leaking and I was going to have to send it back, so I'm not sure if our 3-man has got this. We heard a hissing, but in the nose here there are pressure relief valves set to 3 psi and ours just need tightening up, so we'll continue pumping it up. So thankfully I'm going to send that all the way back with all that entails. So we've pumped the floor tubes up to they're near almost there, and then we pump up the floor to 5 psi. Right, it's not in, Catherine. Right, let me show you. So you turn it all the way, and then you turn it back. Okay, now press it on. These are little pumps, as I said before, the nozzle end needs to be made the other way, because as you tighten it up, it turns it so it will ping out. When you get one, if you get one, you'll see what I mean. You set that to 5 psi, Catherine. Pressing the plus button. Floor starting to go up. As you pump it up like this, the floor obviously expands and forces the tubes outwards. You could call them tubes, you could say they're sponsons. There's a helicopter overhead. We're near the Apache helicopter base, so you could see one fly over in a minute. There's an Apache up there if you look. Probably can't see it. So when you pump these up, you pump them up to whatever pressure you want. So 5 or just near 5 psi. Then you let it settle and you'll see it will drop. Now drop to 4.2, 4.3, and then you put it on again. And then that will just put that last little bit in and there it is done. So we'll just finish off the tubes. By putting the seat in, we're putting it in for a 1-man. So 1-man is marked, but you put it sort of in the middle but back a little bit. And the Velcro it's got Velcro on the floor. When you put these, Catherine always wants to put them on one side, you put them in there. And you put them through there, through the bottom, not twist it like I have, doing it one-handed. You put them through the bottom, and she pulled it back and over the top, not easy one-handed, and then you pull them till the little orange bits click so the seat is just about upright. See if the seat's upright? Yeah, so that's good. And now we'll put some air in the seat. The seat has little valves if you tighten those up, Catherine, and you don't want to make these too hard, because if you do it's not so comfortable. When pumping the seat up, you don't put a particular PSI in it, you just pump it hard enough to do. So obviously the skegs have got to go on. But there's her indoors sat in the position, pretending to paddle. These aren't 2 men, you wouldn't want 2 men in them, they're 1-man really. And what you get in it, the features you get, obviously, the carry handles front and back, a little Velcro strap here, or little cubby that I can't do, a little Velcro cubby hole there, and a little loop to put something in. We put a rope in there because we attach a rope to the end. You get obviously different seat positions. You get paddle holding Velcros. You get the mesh at the back. If you should have the Itiwit dry bag, they clip into here, and there are the valve positions. So there we have it, the Itiwit X100 1-2 person. We will now show you the skeg. So to put the skeg in, they go front to back. You just put it in like that, and then the little bit, it's nice to have the string on top. You just put it in there, press it down, and you'll hear a click. Here's the other one. Why don't you get that one? That's it. So it's actually the next day, because we had potentially a bit of a problem. We heard a hissing when it was going up, so we've had it on test all night, and it is fine. What it turned out to be, it was a leak from that overpressure valve at the back, which weren't screwed in well and weren't seating right, but we managed to fix it. It's held good pressure all night, so that's okay. So we're now going to take it down and show you how to do that. So if you put those skegs, that's a little bag we have, you put those skegs in the top of the bag, Catherine. There's a nice little bit at the top of the bag for you to keep your bits so you don't lose them. And Velcro. See how this bag fits, because the other one fits well. I'm told this one's a bit tight, but you have got that thing to go around it. So the first thing to do, we just will keep the one seat in it, because this is going to be used as a one-man canoe. So the first thing, and always watch your eyes when you do this, if there's grit and sand in there, is take the turny bits off. Stick little biters. Then with these buttons, you just push them in. You don't push these ones, you just put them in, and it goes down. Now what we do is we just leave this for a while, because if you're not in a hurry, you'll be amazed how much that will go down all by itself. Time for a cup of tea. So we've farted about a while and had a swim, and just left it here, and you can see how well it's actually gone down. Now we'll fold it up and see how it goes in the bag. Right, her indoors always does the rolling. So obviously roll it, she's best at it, she is actually. I can't squat. So you roll obviously from that end, so you roll the air to those with those open. So it's all to fit back in there. I'm standing on that just to keep the middles together, because you pull those in a bit and reverse the wings on the seat. Right, just leave it a while to let the air go out.
Do it on that.
Right, that's just about out, I think. Keep rolling one more. And see how this goes round it.
You can do this on my own.
Well, it did go back in the bag, but as others have said, it was a bit more of a battle than the 3-man, but it's in. It's a nice little rucksack, and it's very lightweight to carry. So pleased with that. Can't wait to give it a go. Thanks for watching. Indoors.